All right, everybody, we're about to watch the best of three third game in the Govs Discord March tournament. For this last round, it looks like Big Mac and Yukino are once again Axis, and Flying Pancake and Green Mario are allies. Looks like, once again, Yukino locking in strategic reserves and Big Mac not choosing right away. Big Mac OKW, Yukino as the Wehrmacht, and once again 2 Soviets on Eindhoven country. And once again,
we have a fresh grenadier squad.
Guest here to help me cast this one.
We have liberated the objective.
And I'll allow him to introduce himself.
MG42 team is ready for action.
Carlotta, this is my voice. I'm looking forward to this game. This is no spoilers, obviously. At this point, it's game 3 of 3, so you know there's already been one win on either side. The current Allies team won the first game, and Yukino and Big Mac won the second. So we're all set for a nail-biting finish.
And we are watching this live, so we don't know the outcome of this one either. So it looks like everybody's kind of fanning out into their own sides this time.
I mean, we saw 2 very different games. Axis has won both so far. Pancake and Green Mario piloting the Axis in the first game and using their infantry to just completely dominate on Elst outskirts. And Yukino and Big Mac taking a very different approach when they played Axis on Crossing in the Woods. Instead of the infantry superiority, they really won the game through their armor play. And so this should be a good map to test both teams' skill. There's plenty of room for both infantry and armor to make a big impact on the battlefield.
We are ready for action.
Green Mario locking in mechanized support already, so we might see an ISU 152.
It's such a wide open field in this map. You can really dominate these long sightlines with that unit.
Assault Grenadiers kind of struggled to get
Enemy
into
forces are securing our territory.
Did manage to do a decent amount of damage.
I like what Green Mario's doing, just very clever here. I mean, he could easily have got caught, but because of that positioning, he's forcing these Assault Grenadiers into a slightly awkward spot and really outmaneuvering them quite well.
Our opponents are
probing and trying to make sure they get some value before they have to retreat, and they will force up these conscripts. Be careful here, they're taking quite a lot of damage. I'm not sure why Mario's backing up at this point. It's because he senses the MG42 could be about to strike. Nice
Does
play.
look like Pancake was able to force Big Mac off the field.
Secure the vehicle. Location set. Begin conversion.
I don't think he lost anything outright, but
4 conscript squads for him this time, as opposed to the 3. And he's just going to dump them all onto Big Mac's cutoff and take advantage of his handy green cover position.
Durham punch.
Nice damage coming out. This is the risk of putting down these defensive cover spots. They can easily be turned against you, force you to have to expend grenades.
Conscripts actually putting their worth here.
Yeah, they're having a good fight, already trading very effectively, dropping a bunch of Sternpioneer models. And unfortunately for Pancake, he's not able to capitalize by taking the CP. And he'll allow this Volk to slip into the green cover, which I think was unnecessary. He just didn't know how much infantry superiority he already had. should really be capping this because it will deny the munitions.
Heavy machine gun team, ready for battle.
Be building his own sandbag as well.
Allies taking the cutoff for the fuel.
Einsatzbereit.
Yep, and if you see here, Green Mario slipped a conscript onto the right cutoff, so that just like he's also slipping in behind to support Pancake as well. So they've now got an extra squad to maintain these depleted cutoffs.
MG-34 really hamstringing those conscript squads. Both teams getting their
The enemy is
sandbags up
attempting
on
to
that
steal
one
our
strategic
sector.
point.
And Pancake sees Big Mac's entire army appear and decides, I think I'm going to go heal up. And we'll give up the field for now. As Yukino rushes up the middle to try and support this push.
Just going back and forth, all over the map here.
Yeah, it's what happens when you see these
Panzer
close
Grenadiers
range
standing
squads
by.
come out. They force a sort of wave behavior
We
on
are
both
losing a
sides
sector.
because Pancake and Green Mario don't want to leave their squads separated and vulnerable to being chased down.
Axis now securing all the resources from the Allied player here.
Let's get this assault player to move onto the munitions as well. And unlike for the Axis, the presence of MGs for the up against them will make the Allied retakes of these territory slightly more difficult. Nice early Panzer Grenadiers again from Yukino. It's going to prevent this cut-off attempt again.
Enemy forces are
Mario
capturing our
does end up
supplies.
going for guards.
Still don't have any commander selection from Pancake or Big Mac. Which means that if Big Mac wanted to go with Panzer Fusiliers, he's kind of too late to try and pull them out at this point. You prefer to get them a little bit of veterancy or get them on the field. Then you can get your G43s.
You know, I'd be very surprised to see some Falcon here, but I don't think that's going to happen.
They did get a bit of a nerf in the last patch, of course, with the loss of the Panzerfaust. Does make them that much weaker to light vehicle play. You do have the Tankovy battalion command center down. Green Mario, meaning that you could have a T-70 if you wanted one.
The sector is at risk.
Elect to go down that route. Guards are doing a really good job of pushing onto this strategic point, the capture point, but they are forced off by the MG.
Our territory is falling
We had
into
the
enemy
black track
hands.
again for Big Mac. It worked out pretty well last game. Had a huge number of kills, but stayed alive and prevented the shock troop infantry of the Allies from doing too much damage. This time it's going up against the others.
Big Mac looking pretty good here. I think at the flag track. He's got a counter, at least a soft counter for just about it.
Target that infantry.
Guards right now. In fact, both Soviets walking in the same document.
See, Black Track attack ground firing through its own smoke. It's a clever idea, but it doesn't quite work out, and the guards managed to get a huge grenade to wipe out a Stern Pioneer mod. Yeah, oh my goodness. It's a disgusting grenade.
Target secured. Ready.
I'm sure Big Mac's not happy about that one. He's making another one right now.
Yeah, it was all going pretty well, as you said. He had a nice composition. Unfortunately, just drives up a bit too far with the blackjack. Allows it to get buttoned and take too much damage. So while he's microing that and trying to set it up so to make it effective, he neglects his high value unit on the red cover.
Pioneers reporting for duty.
Kino is cutting off the allied. Both sides are cutting each other off. Axis a little more able to counter it.
Supply half-track is in action. Standing by for setting of command post.
Do you think we'll see a double ISU this game? Both the Soviets have opted for the same commander.
Honestly, with as skilled as both these teams are, I hope it doesn't end before we see both of those come out.
That could be. You put one of those on each VP. The problem with the ISU usually is that it's so slow and limited to one area of the map. So if the Axis can get flank control, it's fine. But if you've got two of them,
Axis actually terrifying control of the VPs. Conscripts are able to take it back, but they're actually probably going to be outgunned here. And they can fight for this.
even with the fresh Stone Pioneer with no veterancy, it's fine for Big Mac just to sit there.
He's going to force the Maxim. The MG-34 is also
The command vehicle has gone static.
SU-76 coming out from Pancake, which could barrage the
looks
MG
like it's
and
going to go
some-
counter the Black Hat track.
well,
I would say is probably the right call.
it's a neat solution to pretty much everything that's here. That's first shot.
You're going to have to be really lucky to try and attack around that.
Big covering Rickenberg. But again, it's funny how players will play very similar in different maps. So just as before, Big Mac with his defensive Rickenberg in green cover, preventing any diving or any deep vehicle play from. Okay, he will move it up now.
2 scout car struggling to keep this conscripts taking the head off.
This time
Gotta
Yukino's
have
managed
a-
to keep his Panzer Grenadiers alive, so he has loads of infantry. It's just not quite in position.
It's going to be hard for this 222 to do anything with these 2 guards rifles.
Well, Green Mario doesn't have any MGs, so he can't really slow the tide of assault grenadiers, and they all just decide to sprint at him. But he does have a T-34 building.
Alright, so we're seeing double fuel for the Allies. Axis was looking pretty strong there for a minute. They're going to have to come back pretty hard here. And with all these conscripts getting their sandbags up and all this heavy cover in the castle, might not be so easy.
We have a new T-34 standing by.
Pretty well set up, these guards. I'd like to see the conscripts tanking on the front, giving maximum time for the guards to stay static, because having the guards force back like this is just a bit efficient out of
Assault
stick.
grenadiers.
Its way down. It will face Panzer Shreks, and the Pack Gun is moving up. But it may be able to take out the scout car before that even matters. Doesn't get a second shot off. they get very low. Now there's T-34. Oh, conscript could go down here. Oh, wow, these two squads who get Green Marriott.
Pack does manage to get a shot
Scrape
on.
away.
Looks like the fuel is going to be going back to the end.
No commander choice for Big Mac. That's interesting.
He has upgraded his Schwerpanzer HQ though.
Well, first squad of Obersoldaten on the way.
Panzer Fusiliers are ready for action. Night vision Sturm
And
Command are now available.
he uses that as his cue to decide to go for ground offensive, so he can get some STGs on those if he so chooses. Could be quite useful against the guards, especially if they're playing in cover positions. But he has to make sure that they don't front line because they'll take an awful lot of damage. Assault grenadier is getting gunned down here, trying to get off a grenade, but it's probably going to be too greedy. Oh, they scrape away as well. That's pretty good grenade.
Assault grenadiers coming in from every angle.
They just don't have enough support, unfortunately. These are nice flanks. Yukino proving that she does like to get these flanks going, but doesn't always have the composition or the numbers to make them work.
Obersoldaten. How much quality you have?
I'm really looking forward to seeing the armor matchup soon, because Yukino's Panzer IV's last game were really deadly. It did come quite late.
SC-76 does connect with the half track, but Big Mac doesn't lose his Rickenbacker down to SC-76.
That Rickenbacker is taking a lot of damage. Stays
Does
like
not
too
make
far
it
back
out.
and snipes it. There we go. That's a huge pickup. Big Mac does not want to be building another Rickenbacker right now. He wants to get the big tank out. He wants to resupply his units, but instead he's going to have to battle over this Rickenbacker or build another. Oh, the conscript can kill itself here. Transforms himself into a little Rickenbacker and then dies. So, Pancake losing a vetted conscript squad in that doomed attempt. Now should honestly just try to destroy the Rickenbacker because it's unlikely he's going to get infantry there to recrew it.
Kino opting for another Panzer IV here. Both Panzer tracks connecting. Pack 40 showing up. Actually decides it wants to get back. Probably call.
This compound is such a nightmare to try and retake when you lose it from the south. So much green cover. So little visibility, you don't know what's going to be around the corner. And Ozosty, you don't have any flares or anything, and he doesn't have any recon either, so it's going to be a tough nut to crack, especially as Green Marriott putting down these nasty little mines. Pancake manages to complete Operation Saving Private Rickenbacker by massing his conscripts and dropping them on it.
Panzer IV.
300
Both
points
of them.
remaining.
This might be what Yukino needs to push back in here, but it does look like Green Mario is ready to use this gun. So
A bit of BP to try and stem the bleeding a little bit and allow for a little flank up there from Big Mac. Tosses the incendiary nade onto the Maxim.
it's pushed off by the T-34. Over Soldat.
it's quite risky. Obersoldaten, not the cheapest or the most durable units to try and pull off a flank like that. Might open some space for Yukino to make the counter-assault work. Possibly a bit hasty there from Green Mario to have to decide to run back. He's got a bit more lead. Opting for the safe option. He's got to get full planes, infiltration planes, or assault planes.
Big Mac going for the chase on these is able to pick up did end up going for the Panzer Commander. I think it doesn't get the Guardian Barrage that it used to have. As a new hatch, so it's not as suppressive as it used to be.
Does appear to still have that ability. I don't know which unit. I think the OKW Tiger perhaps had push disabled. Panzer IV still has it. It's got 80 munitions there, and it could be used right now quite effectively if it decides to. Instead, what we see is in terms of defensive smoke when being chased down by this Su-76 who smells blood.
Instead fires on the other Panzer IV.
Yeah, it's a neat little unit on this map. Able to cause a lot of devastation with its barrage and parry Panzer IVs. Very cost effective. I'd like to see a Jagdpanzer out for Big Magnus as his next vehicle.
Wonder what Kino's gonna go for. Most squads are nearly full health.
Enemy is taking our territory.
As soon as she gets the manpower for it. MG sitting on the field point.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Panzer Shrek and Pack Warden coming up to do something about that T-34.
Doesn't get out there, that MG is toast. These conscripts are coming in. They're not going to get suppressed.
I just noticed Mario has a mine here right in the middle.
Oh yeah. He's got a bunch of them, and one near his disc gun as well. It was close to backfiring since the T-34 nearly drove over it and took a shot from the Pack 40. Nasty way to go.
That she's been finding all these mines with the assault grenade hasn't gone with anything. Probably going in a bit too far with the Panzer IV here.
It's it takes an 88 there, and now this is not even with
That's gonna save him.
background, it's going to take it out of the surely. Oh no. That's a bounce.
Maybe hits this mine.
Could
Thought
do.
it might do some damage on Green Mario.
I could even have snagged the Su-85, that would have been a turnaround. But doesn't manage to do that.
Second Panzer IV coming out pretty Kino now, but losing that first one. A little greedy there, but not sure how to play
Lost the
with.
head. Perhaps just really wants to get these damn Soviets out of the backyard, out of the compound. And, prove too durable.
Definitely able to put the hurting on this Panzer IV. Once again, we see the lead. Oh,
Good
150.
work as well.
I see 152 from Green Mario. It's gonna make it really hard.
We see, especially since Big Mac and Yukino don't have any heavy tank destroyers. They don't have any option for them at this point. Perhaps Big Mac was deliberating between the Tiger and this doctrine and the Jagdtiger, and I think the Jagdtiger might have been a better solution. this sort of risky, the risk of 2 ISUs just rocking up.
It's starting to look like the Axis players have decided to
Oh no! Oh, I just saw what was happening with that. A combination of an IL-2 precision bombing strike and the first ISU hit causes a massacre. The Axis is still pushing forward. They do manage to pick up a T-34.
Good hit on a conscript, doesn't manage to take it out though.
It's a slam of shots across the map. Picking up many Axis models per hit.
Again. Time to unleash our heavy tanks.
Let's see what he can do with that HE shell.
Such a good map for it. You can see he's so far. He is low. It's not a huge amount of support, but Axis just simply above the position to shade.
Axis does
Decide to
lose
assault.
most Grenadier squad on the side of the map, trying to take refuel.
What's the way back into this game for Yukino and Big Mac? Do they keep investing into more armor, just try to overwhelm these ISUs? And the risk of that is that they try to go for the flanks. You see, Green Mario's been really diligent placing the mines and making sure that these flanking units are dangerous. I can already see 3 in and around the compound.
It is looking to me like Big Mac is gonna end up going for the Tiger again. Which, I mean, the Tiger is a strong unit.
It is, but
There's not really a whole lot of counter to this 152, especially since the Katyusha's coming out. I mean, neither of these players have artillery guns.
no, I mean, I prefer if both Axis players really saved up the money they have here, but the problem with that is just this massive infantry.
Katyusha does force the assault units away. Opens up the lines with conscripts to dive right in.
And so that's of course out of position for a while. Cat's on fire now, that too, Cat is going to die very soon. And there it goes. Axis are collapsing right now. So
Managed to retreat right into a shot from that 285.
Yes, it's happening. Base highly damaged. Army population disparity is really starting to open up now. There's lost to MG42. Means she's not been able to get control of these guards. They've been mostly fighting in long range in green cover, which is pretty good playing against MG42.
They have managed to take their fuel back. You know, still making sure to clear those minefields.
Look at Green Mario right now. He's sitting on 200 fuel, 100 out of 100 pop, nearly 1,000 in manpower banked. He's going to be an absolute force of nature, because even if he gets a bit low, that just means he can queue up his T-34, pop it out immediately.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector. The enemy is reduced to 200 points.
Artillery promotion on the support weapons in that unit has of course on quite pancake, as Big Mac secures the victory point at least temporarily.
Well, there is one thing to be said, that with the Allies concentrating all their forces there in the middle, were able to do a lot of damage, but the Axis did end up taking back the flanks.
That was my concern for this game with the ISUs. Like all the allied focus would be in the middle. Maybe able to get these cutoffs, but they don't necessarily have the most mobile armies to contest this.
You do end up seeing the Tigers.
Ostwind ready for deployment.
Ostwind to support the Panzer IV for Yukino. Might be the unit that she
Enemy
needs,
forces are securing our territory.
In trouble she's having dislodging that infantry on this side of the map.
Reagan takes almost half its HP almost immediately from SU-85 and guards. It really needs to get better support than that. It should be rolling up the field, especially if we can Kino probing the flanks.
I really like that she had the presence of mind enough to move up her mine sections.
So I'm going to say snap. Yeah, still managed to get snapped by the conscript though, and now Green Barrier's just going to shove in his units.
Ostwind really does need to get some of those skills in though, for it to be real effective.
Nice composition here, 3 Panzer Strikes. Towards the Ostwind, that could help her get back in, but doubled Zis guns are watching over and waiting for that Ostwind to overextend.
I'm sure they're pretty happy to just have this fuel point.
Yeah, so as we said, the Axis just spreading the field, giving up mid VP, and Pancake seems a bit too happy just to sit. I don't really like the fact that he's not being more mobile. He's just Katyusha hasn't fired for a while. I don't mind its own coolback. I'm not seeing him be hyper dramatic right now. That's ridiculous. This Panzer, he needs to figure out a way to dislodge Big Mac's Panzer IV from the left VP, otherwise there's a risk that the Axis just get back into the game thanks to the
Enemy
passive
forces capturing supply
manpower
sector.
increase they have due to their smaller army.
Big Mac has definitely been able to recoup some of his losses. 87 pop cap now.
Bigger army than Pancake. Pancake does have the option for an ISU, but that's the best choice. Maybe just opting for a second SU-85.
We are losing territory.
And if Ball can go down, Yukino has managed to capitalize on the overextension from Green Mario, and he does the perfect block. Stop pressing S, stopping behind the TVP to make sure it doesn't phase through.
Might end up eating a few AT grenades here, but I'm not sure it's gonna matter.
Oh, Green Mario just getting punished a little bit for overextending, and Yukino's tank play has been top notch. It just needs to be matched by a little bit more focus and attention on the infantry game. And Green Mario is going to have a real hard time. Vet 2 Panzer IV, of course, gets the increased accuracy. It's going to do a lot of damage. Mac's not been able to repair his Tiger for some reason. He's sitting there with half HP.
We are seeing the Axis take the Allies' fuel. Green Mario may have 3 anti-tank gun teams over here on the east side, but they're all pretty spread out.
What witnessing the Allies snatching defeat from the jaws of victory here. They really should have been in a position to lock down this game, I feel, with the resources they'd banked, but they're just backing up.
It's still anyone's game, both sides pretty evenly matched here. Axis has a slight pop cap disadvantage.
I'd like to see at least the Allies really secure one of these side VPs. Pancake to send over as many units to that side as necessary. Mid-control is pretty much secure.
ISU 152
Nice.
from Pancake manages to take out Big Mac's Vet 2 Panzer IV.
Wasn't expecting the Rakettenwerfer just to chip in that much damage. I think the SU-85 has reached that 2 now. It's a real monster.
ISU 152 cleaning up those infantry on the east side.
I think that could be getting a bit overzealous here. He's moving up his Tiger within range of all of this anti-tank. He's trying to get the Tiger out of the smoke, which is clever. Shouldn't stay too long. Opening up. ISU didn't switch off HE and so doesn't manage to clean up there.
Got a shoot from Yukino. He's making good use of that Ostman, playing at a long range, keeping the infantry from capping the point.
ISU strategy should be pretty effective against the Tigers while they clear their positions they can use on marked targets to deal with any overextended tank. It's going to be a long game. And the Axis are keeping control on the left. This is a Vet 4 MG34 over here. Conscripts running into this site and they're going to get instantly suppressed. Big explosion down here, we've got the stock right in the dust.
That didn't take very long.
It's not great in this situation.
It's like it got hit by
It doesn't have the range to deal with the SU-85, and it doesn't have the firepower to get through the ISU.
is coming down on that Vet 4 G, and he just barely
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
one model.
I can see Yukino take up to 2. Come up with some, possibly a Panther here, because she's going to need units that have enough penetration to take out the ISU in front. The nature of this quite narrow map means that you don't have the option to just flank around all the time. It does. This sort of sit back and hold the VP strategy from the Allies does mean that the Axis just have the fuel. They have both fuels right now.
Anti-tank rockets on the
Soviets unwilling to push up beyond their defensive perimeter. Look at Green Mario over on the right. He just has 3 sandbags with conscripts set up behind them.
Funnily enough, though, the Allies are actually looking pretty good. All the infantry units.
What now? They've got the long range anti-tank Pancake. Pancake are able to trade blows back. This is risky. Allowing the Allies to, allowing the Axis to flank up this. See these powerfuls roll out.
Panzerwerfer comes in. I think it picks up one model. Yeah, one model. It was a good shot, but Green Mario was able to move out of exactly where it was coming down.
Yukino's build is just lacking a smoke ability. She could probably ask for Big Mac to smoke for her, and that would allow her close range infantry to get in amongst the guards and the conscripts, and it would take the ISU out of the fight briefly. But as it is, just sending these units in piecemeal one by one is just allowing them to get focus fire. And just not getting a huge amount of value right now. There's been a raid coming on. The Maxim is going to force off Pancake, but I really doubt these bombers will want to stay around this mid-VP too long when the smoke clears. 2 ISUs could be about to open up.
Get in on those assault grenadiers.
He managed to force Pancake into a mass retreat with 1 oversoldat grenade. Tiger's done a good job of staying alive. As he gets more veterancy, it could be doing well, but oh!
Take out an over squad.
Yeah, did wonder about that. The decision to try and take the mid of VP with such an expensive squad. This is very sad to watch. An entire Panzerwerfer barrage just collides with the wall it's next to and is cancelled. Totally fails to connect onto Green Mario's troops, which means that the T-34 just pushes up and kills the Osprey. That was sad.
Yeah, the second Panzer.
I don't know what her solution to the ISU is right now. I guess she wants to just blitz past the infantry and then get the Panzer Grenadiers to connect with the Strix.
Blind Panzerwerfer. No, it's a shame. I wish they didn't end up colliding with tall objects.
It's one of the sort of quirks of the engine that this sort of thing, of course, is possible, but she could have positioned it somewhat better. But I wonder if she even realizes that it wasn't just a miss because she hasn't moved the Panzerwerfer. I have been looking at something else.
Panzer Grenadiers do force off the guards on the East VP. Bundle grenade.
So he's through that just now. There are conscripts in reserve. Down, getting near 100 VPs for the Axis. They really need to start turning things around soon. I really hope we see some smoke out of Big Mac. He has 500, nearly 500 muni. It could be so useful for Yukino to have this smoke dumped on the AT guns while her tanks try to get to work. It doesn't work out, and this is a disaster. Again, a second entire Panzerwerfer barrage just blocked by the same tower. Yukino really needs to twig that that's what's going on, because the third goes in. That's just quite dispiriting.
I do think it would be nice to see a Panther.
We have 100 points remaining.
Panzer IV.
Panzer IV standing by.
Just not going to be survivable enough as far as I'm concerned.
Not going to be able to tangle the ISU. It's perfectly good to have it, especially in its current role of just staying outside of the range of the AT guns and causing bleed to the conscripts, but it doesn't seem that Yukino is much of a fan of the Panther, otherwise we would have seen it earlier. We see a Brumbar coming out instead. Panther does come in from Big Mac, here we go. So they're taking advantage of Pancake's immobility in the middle, and now they're overloading the right with all their vehicles, but this is the risk of doing this without infantry support. Pancake's trying to respond. Does manage to take the left VP while this is happening, so it's a near triple cap being set up here. And this vehicle assault from Big Mac is going to result in pretty much no gains, no wipes, no bleed, and the loss of that VP.
Second infantry ready to fire soon, so let's see. Let's see if it gets
have
moved
50
properly.
points remaining.
I very much doubt it. At this point, it's
34 goes
just
down
not.
to Panzer Shreks.
Aha. Yeah, so why weren't these infantry available for the push? I think they just need to be a bit more patient. Because if they push with all the infantry, I think they just crush them. Here we go. Panzerwerfer moves up and fires on the ISU.
Kills
Deletes
all
both
the
engineers. Oh
ISU does not manage to pick up
Close to
that
defeat. 25 points
damage.
remaining.
Let's do.
wow.
Bet
Must
three,
be admiring her victory too much that she loses that Bet 3 Panzer Shrek.
Bet 3 Siscon does get knocked out by the assault grenadiers. But all the
17
conscripts
VPs.
are coming in.
This is looking like the end of the game, I'm afraid. There's just no way that.
Axis does manage to tap the point.
There's no way for them to hold 2 VPs at this point.
We are losing.
ISU's both
Rebar
prepared.
is not in a
Enemy is
position
taking our territory.
to react here. Axis does manage to move on the left and the center.
That's too much infantry there. It's more than enough infantry to recap the green area. 3 VPs remaining. No health Rumbeck comes in to try and save the game.
Looks like that was
GG!
it.
So the victors of this tournament.
Green Mario and Flying Pancake take
Congratulations
first
to them.
place.
And well fought from Yukino and Big Mac. It was not a slam dunk set. It was not a 2-0. They performed admirably on Crossing the Woods, and they demonstrated that they can really synergize their vehicle play together. Just, I think, even with a few tweaks, with a few improvements to their infantry play and a more infantry support, I think they could be a really quite powerful team.
You know, and it's funny because I know both of those guys are pretty high on the leaderboards for 1v1s, and I know they're both skilled players. Just the damage not showing up in that game, it looks like, looking at the post game.
Yeah, Pancake and Green Mario have been playing together a very long time, know each other very well, and they've been working on some of their weaknesses. They've been working on. Pancake used to be trying to mass AT guns a little bit too much, and he's switched to this SU-76 play that just is a little bit less punishing if you get caught.
It is definitely interesting that these two definitely seem to have a really good synergy, Mario and Pancake.
They're both very aggressive players. They both play with lots of infantry. They both like to make sure that they're dominating in these handheld close infantry fights.
Every game I've ever seen them play, they start out with all those conscripts, and it works for them. I'm looking right now, over 1,000% efficiency with 4 conscript squads.
Yeah. Not many players will do that. They'll focus on trying to get the efficiency on the other units, but these guys have played a long time. They know the value of these units, and they've done a really good job here. And the games they won, they played very differently. We saw when they played Axis, it was like no holds barred, full throttle, really trying to push their infantry advantage and the Ostwinds down Yukino and Big Mac's throat. But this game, they get their pressure and then they transition into this really powerful defensive setup with the double ISUs. They put one on 2 VPs and they just choke out the game.
Well, and I left it up to the players, so unless they want a 3 out of 5, that's gonna be it. And if it was only 2 out of 3, then it looks like Pancake and Mario are gonna take it. So
Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed.
yeah, thanks for helping me cast this one. It was nice to have
No
you
problem
on.
at all. Thanks for inviting me.
And good fun games to watch, that's for sure. All right.